Across Europe, nearly every team has released its kits, and as in previous seasons, some are awesome and some are absolute dog water. As an overrated concept kit designer myself, I decided it might be a fun video idea to remake some of the best kits and see if I can do better than the best. My rules for this challenge were to keep the same brand, colours and basic design of the original kits, but just add my own twists to try and make them more interesting. Then I posted them all on the Discord server for you guys to vote for which you preferred. So anyway, let's get into the video. First up is FC Augsburg's third kit, made by Mizuno. The kit is based on the Roman Empire, which you might think has little meaning considering the club is based in Germany, but the city itself was founded in 15 BC by the Romans, shortly after the Nintendo Wii was probably invented. It's named after the Emperor Augustus, who was, like most Roman emperors, very much evil, but nevertheless the designers at Mizuno noticed that the Roman Empire-inspired graphic would look pretty freaking epic on a kit, and they were right. The shirt is mainly a pinkish burgundy with these awesome gold trims on the logos, collar and sleeve cuffs. The pattern on the front is inspired by the Roman Empire and features the letters AV in there a lot, which likely stands for Augusta Vindelicorum, the first name the city ever had. Unsurprisingly, the kit sold out within a few days of being put up on the market, so I had my work cut out for me when I made my own version. First up, I changed the collar to a polo one simply because that's the first thing I ever think of when improving football kits. Next, I changed the pattern to this alternative one, which looks a lot bolder and unfortunately a bit Portuguese, which means it has less relevance. But it still looks cool and you can pretend it looks a bit Roman. I personally prefer the original, but surprisingly my Discord voted mine to be the winner by an absolute landslide, so I guess that's 1-0 to me. Next, we're doing Genoa's away kit, made by Kappa. I think there's always something to be said for simplistic kits, not only because they look nice, but also because they're easy to make unsimple, which helps you when you're doing these kinds of YouTube videos. Genoa's kit is white with blue and red trims, just like their classic away kits, and you can see it best from the sides. The panels are really thick, and they also went back to an old retro logo from the early 1980s depicting a griffin with an expression that looks sort of like me when I wake up in the morning, especially the hair. It has a navy flat collar with this little red stripe through it too. As mentioned before, it's a little plain, so I decided to add my own twists, going with the theme of the griffin. Yeah, I basically just added feathers. I'm not an expert on griffins, I've never studied them in the wild of course, but I was pretty sure that they have feathers. After a cursory search on Google I found I was correct, and also that griffins look like they're AI generated, but that's beside the point. I also changed up the polo collar so it has buttons now, and is mainly white with these blue and red trims. I also added an outline of the modern Genoa badge around the retro one. Having removed the simplicity of the original, I wasn't sure whether the voters on Discord would prefer my kit or the original, but again my kit won by a mile, giving me a 2-0 lead and the hope that I don't become Everton and get absolutely Bournemouthed. For the third kit of the video, we have Juventus' third kit made by Adidas. This is the highest rated kit of the season so far, yes, even above Austrian Bundesliga team TSV Hartberg's new home kit. It's part of Adidas' new trefoil range which they're giving to their elite teams, which includes Juventus, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Arsenal and this bunch of clans who are by no means elite, so I have no idea what they're doing here. The kit is navy with a retro prancing horse badge in gold and also this neat polo collar. The pattern across is this really creative spin on the double J logo, that's their normal badge, which is really cool. The whole kit is in fact so good that Adidas decided the authentic version should be worth £120, an arm, a leg, 40 chickens, one Ferrari and your grandmother, or something in that kind of price range. Thankfully however you can get my version of the kit for absolutely free, which is mainly because it's quite literally just a photo and doesn't exist in any physical form whatsoever. I decided to change the double J pattern entirely and I turned it into a repeating pattern of the horse logo, which looks pretty cool. I also made the gold shade less yellow and put it on the collar and sleeve cuffs too. I like this kit about as much as the original, but you guys preferred the official one more and it won by some distance, making the score 2-1. Our penultimate kit is United's away kit, made by Adidas. United's kit is navy with this neat pattern across that's basically the letter M for Manchester on repeat. The logos and trims are all in white and the collar has this cool pattern on it, also in that lighter shade of blue. I love the shininess of this kit, but I really don't like how big and imposing the Snapdragon sponsor is, so I used this alternative version instead on my remake. The pattern in the background is a map of the city of Manchester, and I just realised that there's a metaphor in this, because the kit basically just acknowledges the fact that, little though most of us want it to be, Manchester is unavoidably blue at the moment. The relationship between those two clubs is kind of like one of those stories where a city is being overtaken by these evil Manchester City overlords, and then there are some like underdog citizens who end up saving the day, except in this case the guards are Casemiro and Onana and they just get mashed. So our best hope at the moment is that Salford City will be bought by Elon Musk, but anyway, I've digressed again. So anyway, I also replaced the badge with this simplistic devil logo that's on their badge, which I personally like. That's pretty much all I changed, and so it was down to you guys to vote which you preferred. Once again, the original kit won, and so the scores are now level at 2-2 going into the last kit. And now for our final kit, we're doing Versailles home kit made by Kappa. This season, Kappa have been pretty much unstoppable with their kits. The fact that they actually went to the trouble of producing such a good kit for a 3rd division team is both awesome and heavily annoying because I was stuck on ideas for this one. The original kit is royal blue with these white and gold trims and a pattern representing parquet, which as far as I can tell is some kind of flooring. The club don't have a sponsor, so they use this cute little Versailles text on the front. After doing some research on Versailles, I found that pretty much all anyone's interested in is the massive palace there, so I naturally decided to make my kit based on that. The pattern on the front is a repeating diagonal one of the palace, but it's so zoomed out that you can't really tell. It looks a bit tacky from a distance, which is kind of a shame, but I tried to make up for it by doing this flap collar design in white with gold and blue trims. I think I also used a shade of gold that was too close to yellow, which just shows exactly how good I am at choking at the last minute. Not surprisingly, most of you voted the original Versailles kit higher, so I lost 3-2 overall. My only consolation is that if you guys had known that the pattern on my kit was the Palace of Versailles, you all would have probably voted for it, and Kappa would have undoubtedly hired me as a designer and I would eventually become crowned King of Europe, but that might just have been a dream I had last night. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give a like and subscribe, and I also made all these kits using FIFA Kit Creator, and I've done some tutorials on how to make them yourself, so you can check them out on my channel. I also have a big Google Drive where you can access a ton of my graphics that I've used for making kits, and you can access this by becoming a member of the channel, which also gives you a shout out at the end of each video, which comes in either a text or vocal shout out depending on your level. Our first top level member is the GK Addict, so thanks to them for joining up. I also have a Discord server with over 800 members who are willing to help you design your own kits, and we also have weekly